this nice and slow. You can start just by hugging your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Rock from side to side. And let's separate the knees. So they're just coming to like the outsides of the rib cage towards your shoulders. And you can move around here if that feels good. Okay, or you can stay in stillness. And let's just take a nice big deep inhale in through our nose here. Big sigh of relief out through our mouth. Good, inhaling in through our nose. Big sigh of relief out through your mouth. One more just like that, inhaling in. Big exhale out. And slowly start to lower the feet down. Okay. And then we're going to bring the soles of our feet together, knees out nice and wide. Okay, so just coming into Supta Bhattachanasana. Hands can stay on your hips. You can bring hands onto your abdominals or your rib cage. And we'll continue just having a moment to, kind of catch our breath. You can exhale out through your mouth. You can find your ujjayi breath. You can count your breath. So lots of options today to really listen to your body and breathe as we do some yoga size, right? We'll do some yoga exercises for strengthening the glutes, the hamstrings, and the hips. And then we're going to find places to release those areas as well. And whether you've been sitting all day at a desk, at home or at your office, or moving around all day, it's nice to find that activation, that muscle activation first before we find like a really big release. Okay. Good. So just continuing to breathe just nice and slow. Allowing yourself to arrive on your mat. Already being in gratitude for showing up for yourself for this hour that we have together.
Okay, for doing that. I had to break down your thing of throat when I was doing the
Okay, and when you're ready, slowly start to bring your hands just to the outsides of your legs to help gather your knees together. And just little window wipers here, just shifting your hips and your knees from side to side. And again, these can be small, they can be big, whatever feels good. Great, and the next time your knees are over to one side, just pause for a moment. You can keep your hands connected to your body, or you can stretch your arms out. So just a gentle, very soft twist, but you may feel a big pull here through the front of your hip flexor on that top leg, maybe a little bit quad even. And then we're just going to switch sides. So again, you can window wiper a few times and then just switch the other side, just pausing as you let your knees fall. And again, arms can be out wide or they can touch your body. Just letting the top hip, whatever side you're on, feel a nice little opening there. Okay. Great. Okay, legs come back to the center again. Good. Okay, and we're going to do a little round of bridge pose, okay? But instead of stacking up so that we're hip distance apart, here we're actually going to let our legs go a little bit wider. So I'm actually just going to widen my feet out about as wide as my mat. And then of course, my knees aren't going to be hip distance apart. They're going to, I'm going to let my knees kind of open up so they're in line with my feet here. Arms are down by the side. Inhaling, lift your hips up towards the sky. Okay, and then maybe just notice how this bridge feels a little bit different than like super stacked up and with our legs together. Okay. And then let's lift our toes up. So we're on our heels. We feel that hamstring activation. Good. Just breathe. Keep pressing the tops, or I should say the backs of your arms into the mat. Good. And then ground the toes. Lift the hips up a little bit higher. And then lower the hips right back down. Good. Inhaling, lift the hips back up towards the sky. Same thing, we're gonna lift the toes up, grounding through the heels. Again, getting that nice little hamstring activation. Glutes are engaged. Think a little bit about those abdominals. So notice if your rib cage is popped open, see if you can seal it in just a little bit. So we're creating awareness in our core here. Ground the toes, lower the hips down nice and slow. Okay, one more time, just like that. Inhaling, hips lift up high. Good, toes lift, press into the heels. Woo, finding those hamstrings. And of course, if you're getting like a little crampy, you can always just lower the toes down, or you can also lower your hips not as high, okay? Ground the toes, lower the hips, nice and slow. Good, and then you're just gonna walk your feet a little bit closer together here. We'll cross the right ankle over the left knee, okay? You know, and typically we go into like the figure four glute stretch here, okay? So first, just press your hands into your thigh bones, okay? Just for a moment, okay? So you find that external rotation through that right hip. Okay, and then instead of going into our figure four, we're gonna take this right knee, okay, and we're gonna think a little bit more diagonal. So we're gonna take the right knee in a little bit towards our left shoulder. You're just gonna bring your hands around the knee, okay? And for me personally, this stretch angle is not super intense personally, okay? However, it can be for you, okay? So just breathe. We're just giving our hip some space. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can lift your heel up on the left foot. So the foot that's on the ground, you can lift that up a little bit. Good. We're just gonna stay here, okay? Whether it's super intense or, you know, a place for you to find your breath, just be there. Be with your hips. Breathe. Okay, good. And we're going to keep letting the legs go to the left, okay, so that we start to come into a twist, okay? And again, for any reason, the spine doesn't feel good, you know, you can unwind your ankle from your knee, okay? It's just really soft. And then again, right arm can reach out to the right, left hand can be on your knee to give you a little bit of resistance if that feels good. And just breathe. Focus can be wherever your head falls. Nice big deep inhales in, full exhales out. Wringing out that rib cage. Now I'm actually in the twist. Surprisingly, I'm feeling that a little bit more in my glute as well. Okay, so just observing the body, right? And I always just like to share my experience, so you know you're not out there alone. Okay. Okay, awesome, everyone. Okay, let's slowly come back to the center. Oh, okay, and then we'll switch sides, okay? Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Okay, we'll energetically press that left knee away, right? So we're doing different movement in our hips, hands on your thigh bones here, just to find a little bit of resistance as you press your hands into your femur bones. Good. Little baby figure four. We'll get into pigeon again, like I said, a little bit later in class. Good. And for now, we're just going to kind of practice different angles of our hips. Okay, good. Okay, finding that release. And again, left knee's we're gonna think diagonal to the opposite shoulder, to the right shoulder. So knee's just gonna fold in just a little bit, right? And then hands can come across the knee, on top of the knee, and then just pausing for a moment, observing this side. Lifting the right heel up if you'd like, keeping the right foot grounded. Good. Again, this is just giving our break on our little bursa second here. Just giving our hips a little bit of a break. Our hip socket. It does so much, right? It holds us up all day, even when we're seated. Got a few more deep breaths here. Good, and of course, you're always welcome to stay here, or we're going to start to come into the twist, okay? So right knees, right knee goes over to the right, knees go to the right, there we go, left arm out to the left, good. And then just breathe again, feeling that twist really up high, up from the rib cage up. Good. Right hand can support your left leg, or it can help ground it, find a little bit of resistance. Great. Take a nice big deep inhale in here. Exhaling, slowly coming back to the center, nice and gentle, and then slowly lowering your legs down, and do little window wipers here as well. Here. Good. Okay, I'm gonna grab my block, and again, you can use a block. You don't have to use it at all. All of the exercises with the blocks are optional. You can also use a pillow or a blanket as well, or a towel, right? Okay, so now we're gonna take the block in between our inner thighs. Okay, so our feet now are hip distance apart. We're gonna stack up here, and we're just gonna do a bridge pose here with the block in between the legs. Okay, so inhaling, lift the hips up towards the sky, squeeze the block, okay? And then let's just do just a soft little pulses, just squeezing the block and releasing, squeeze and release, squeeze. Maybe do like 5 or 8, or if you're like feeling it, maybe 10 squeezes of the block. You can squeeze and hold, keeping those hips lifted. Just finding that inner thigh connection here, including I'm even feeling this in my feet. Okay, good. And then slowly lower the hips back down. Take that block out. You're gonna hug your knees into your chest. You're just gonna bring the block over your shins here, okay? Give yourself a nice little hug, rock from side to side. Okay. And again, we're gonna roll up to find ourselves in just like a little yoga ball, okay? And we're gonna try to roll up with the block or pillow on top of our shins here, okay? So we're just gonna start to rock and roll a little bit on our spine here. And of course, you can always just meet us up in a little yoga ball. You're gonna keep your toes lifted, spine rounded, try to balance here. Okay, this is like our little boat, our baby boat pose. It's like a little egg. Okay, again, you can stay here, or you can start to lift your legs up into tabletop, coming into boat pose with the block on your shins. Good, arms reach forward and breathe here. And again, remember, all of this is optional with the block, just kind of adding it in for a little fun today. Good, a few more deep breaths. Okay, good. From here, take your block in your hands, lower your legs down. You can come into just a cross-legged seated position, okay? Arms move forward. Good, and then just a little protraction and retraction in the shoulders, okay? So we're gonna reach our fingertips forward, bringing our shoulders out of our spine a little bit here, and you're gonna plug your shoulders back in. Beautiful, okay, reach your hands forward, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, just reaching forward and squeezing the shoulder blades. Good, reaching forward. So it's almost like a little baby cat and cow, right? For your upper back and your shoulder blades, okay? Good, okay. From here, let's just do one more. Okay, reaching forward and squeezing. Good. Arms are going to reach up over your head. Good. Breathe here. Just little triceps here. Okay, you're going to bend your elbows and then reach your arms back up over your head. Good. Bend your elbows, reach your arms up over your head. Good. And then without a block, it's the same thing. Just bend the elbows, reach your arms up over your head. Oh my gosh, it's actually just as hard without the block. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take your block in your right hand. You're going to reach your arms out to the side to sweep your arms back and around to grab your block or interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart for a nice big chest expansion. Okay, good. Slowly, we're going to come back into that boat pose, okay? So bring that block around either way, leaning back. Again, you can do your little egg pose, okay? A little Pilates curl here, okay? Or Pilates ball, I should say. Or you can come on up into boat pose, balancing again, balancing that block, balancing that book, pillow, blanket, whatever you've got, okay? Good, just breathe. Good. A few more deep breaths. Okay, and then we're just gonna go to the other side, okay? So starting with the protraction and contractions, okay? Hand blocks in the hands, sitting cross-legged. You can switch to cross of your legs. Good, reach those fingertips forward and then squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good, good, reaching forward, protraction and contraction. Good, reaching forward, squeezing. Good, let's do 5 more of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, sitting up nice and tall, and 1. Good, arms reach up over your head. We'll do 10 little triceps here, just bending the elbows, reaching the arms forward. Good, or up towards the sky. Good, here's 2, and 3, 5 more, you got this. 6, 7, 8. Don't forget to breathe. 2 more. Last one, good. Blocking your left hand to sweep back and around. Again, you can interlace your hands or grab your block, roll your shoulders, lift your chest and your heart. Nice big chest expansion. Oh, that is it. Okay, good. Exhaling, release your block just at the top of your mat, and we're just going to come up into tabletop onto all fours. Okay. Okay, last little bit of this like heat warming yoga exercises for today. Okay, so just do a nice round of cat and cow, connecting your breath to your movement, taking the time to slow your breath down, slow your movement down. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna come into neutral spine, okay? And again, I'm just gonna kind of just talk a little bit, we're gonna be here in tabletop, and it's gonna be a little wrist heavy, okay? If your wrists are bothering you for any reason, you can lower and do all of this on your forearms as well, okay? So you can be on your elbows and forearms, which I might have to do because my wrists are always so sensitive, okay? We're going to take our block. And again, you can do all of this without the block. Okay, right leg's gonna reach back. We're gonna take the block and place it in our little knee nook here so that we're squeezing the block. We're squeezing our hamstring with the block, okay? Okay, so again, here we are in tabletop on hands or forearms, okay? And then we're just gonna bring our knee down and then we're gonna kick our leg up. We're gonna just do that 10 times, nice and slow. Good, keeping a nice neutral spine. Abdominals are kicking in. We're breathing. And again, remember, you can do this half of it with a block, half without. Okay, just 5 more. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. We're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Right knee to left knee. And then we're just going to do little fire hydrants. Right knee moves out to the right and then squeezing back in. Good. Right knee moves out to the right and squeezing back in. Good. 3. And again, just 10 of these. Okay. 4. Good. 5. Pressing into your hands evenly. Trying not to press out to the left. Good. 3 more. Good. Here's 9. And 10. Okay, last thing we do, circles here. 5 circles in one direction. Nice and slow. And again, if you need to drop down onto your forearms, you can. Good, I'm gonna drop down. Nice slow circles in one direction. They can be big, they can be small. And 5, good, reverse a circle. Good, whatever direction you're doing, good. Again, they can be small, they can be big. Just 5 of these. Awesome. 5 and lower down. Good. Take a moment, take that block out from behind your right leg. You can stretch it out a little bit, rock a little bit forward and backwards. Awesome. Okay, and then we're just going to go straight to the second side. Okay, good. So left leg is going to reach back. Good. Taking that block, pillow, little towel, just to kind of squeeze the heel towards the glute and the hamstring. And again, finding yourself nice and strong and settled here in your tabletop, hands or forearms. Go ahead and just bringing your left knee to your right knee and just kicking back up just 10 times, nice and slow. Good. Don't forget to breathe. 4. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it up though. We're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Left knee comes down, and then left knee is just going to open up here and then close back in. Good. So just opening out to the left and closing back in. Again, don't worry about how high your knee goes. Okay, we're just getting this action that's supporting the hip. Good. Good. About 5 more. Good. Last one. Good. Hugging in, and then 5 circles. Pick a direction. Just 5 circles in one direction. Try not to lean. Good. 3, 4, and 5. And again, you can always drop down onto your forearms. Good. Circling the opposite direction. Just 5 times. Nice and slow. Good. About 2 more. Whew. Okay, last one. Lower down. Okay, move that block to the top of your mat. Straighten that back leg, and again, rock it out. And you can see, you know, as you're moving through that, I'm sure you're like, oh, I could have done this without a block. Or, you know, if you were like, I don't have a block, I'm sure you felt that just as much as the people with the blocks did without it. Okay, good. Nice, gentle round of cat and cow again. Oh, okay, good. And then let's go ahead and walk our hands towards our knees, coming up to standing on our knees and shins. Okay, so here's our little half Tadasana mountain pose. Gently press the hips forward. It's very slight. Arms reach up over your head. Look up towards the sky. Take a nice big deep inhale in. Roll the wrists out a few times. In one direction, then the other. Yes, awesome. And then slowly lower the hands down. Tuck the toes under. We'll make our way into our first downward facing dog. Oh, feels so good. Take a little bit of a break there. Good. Gently pedaling the feet out. Swaying the hips from side to side. Okay, good. And that completes our yoga size. And now we'll get a little more traditional with some of our yoga poses. Okay, but again, all this is meant to support our hips, our glutes, our hamstrings, right? Our low back, all that strengthening. And we're going to find nice releases here. Okay, take your time, bend your knees, walk your feet up to the top of your mat. Welcome to, again, use that block, grab on the opposite elbows. You can interlace your hands behind your back. Just let this be nice release for the hamstrings, the calves, even for the low back. If you bend your knees, you should find a nice little stretch through the low back as well. Good. Take your time, slowly rolling up to come all the way up to standing nice and slow. Arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, hands at your heart center. Inhaling, arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, folding forward, nice big forward fold. Let's take this right leg and step it back, low lunge. Okay, so nice big wide step, back knee lowers down. Okay, dipping the hips, rolling the shoulders. You can walk your hands up this left leg, maybe arms reach up over your head. Good, again, just a nice big stretch to the front of the hip flexor here. Good, just breathe. Okay, good, and again, blocks, everything is all optional. This is where you can also use a pillow as well, okay? So I'm gonna take that block under my right hand, okay? To twist, okay? Right hand down, left arm up towards the sky. Yeah, good, good, just breathe. Okay. Tucking the back toes under, I'm gonna lift up here in my twist, okay? So I'm coming from low lunge to high lunge, okay? Good, left hand lowers down. I'm gonna take that block and slide it under my right knee, and I'm gonna lower my right knee back down on that block or pillow, okay? Good. From here, left leg is gonna walk out to the left, okay? So it's gonna walk your foot out. Toe can slightly be angled out. Okay, we're gonna dip the hips. Okay, you can stay on your hands. You can come onto your forearms. And then here's lizard's pose with a block or pillow, some padding under that knee. Okay, good. And again, we're not gonna stay too long here, but just get a nice little stretch here through the front of the hip. Good, just breathe. Okay. Again, your choice. You're welcome to stay right there in lizards. Okay. I'm just going to add a little quad action for myself. Okay, so I'm just going to reach my left arm back towards my back leg, and I'm just going to bend my right knee just like 3 times. I'm not going to come into like the full stretch. I'm just going to find a little bit of activation here. Okay. Yeah, again, totally optional. Okay, we're going to lower everything down. We're going to walk this left foot back underneath us. Okay, so we kind of get our bearings here. Okay, from here, we're going to, again, pop up into that high lunge. We're going to straighten the front leg. Okay, a little hamstring stretch. And we're just going to move through that 3 times. So left knee bends, high little lunge here. Good, left leg straightens. One more time, left knee bends, high lunge. Good, left leg straightens. Awesome. Bending back into that left leg to step back, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to take that block, we're going to place it in between our inner thighs in our downward dog. Okay. This is how we're going to get it up to the top of the mat, okay? And we're going to try our best, do our best to walk up to the top of the mat with the block in between our legs, nice and slow. We'll come all the way up to the top, forward fold. And again, you can release the block down. Slowly rise up to come up to standing. Arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, hands at your heart center. Second side, inhaling, arms reach up. Exhaling, folding forward, forward fold. Left leg steps back this time, low lunge, take your time. Back knee will lower down. Good, you'll walk your hands up or reach your arms up over your head when you're ready. And just breathe. Think about the shoulders settling down, scapulas going down your back, finding all this space in your head, neck, and shoulders. Good, block in your left hand under the left shoulder. Right arm's going to reach up towards the sky to twist. Good. Back toes can tuck under to lift the back knee up. A little high twist action here and high lunge. Right hand lowers down, sliding the block under the left knee. Left knee lowers down. Good. Hands move into the inside of the right leg. We're gonna walk the right foot out to the right a little bit. Okay, so that again, our hips have somewhere to go, so they can drop down a little bit here. And again, right toes can be angled like 45 degrees, just off of the mat. Good, and again, you can lower down onto your forearms if you wish. Lizard pose. Ooh, this side is like really tight. Okay, good. And again, you're welcome to stay here. This is totally optional, a little quad activation here, okay? I'm just grounding through my left hand. My right arm is going to reach up and back towards my back leg. Okay, I'm just going to bend and straighten my back leg because it feels a lot better to do this than on the mat with a little bit of padding there, okay? Yeah, like 3 or 4 times. Good. And then we'll recenter ourselves. We'll start to walk that right foot back underneath us. Okay, good. Prepping ourselves for that high lunge. So again, back knee lifts up. And just 3 little hamstring stretches, okay? Right leg straightens. Dropping the head. Good. Right knee bends. High lunge. Good. Straightening the right leg. Good, right knee bends. Good, straightening the right leg. Good, and then we're gonna bend that right leg to step back, downward facing dog. Good, and then you guessed it, again, that block in between the inner thighs, and this is just for us to clear our space, okay, creatively. Good, and then we'll travel to the top of the mat as best as we can with the block. And again, if we lose the block, it's okay. It's all a practice. Good, and then release the block. Forward fold here. Good, rolling up to come all the way up to standing nice and slow. Arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, hands at your heart center. Okay. Inhaling, arms reach up. Exhaling, folding forward, forward fold. Inhaling, gently step back, plank pose. Okay, and then we'll just slowly lower all the way down onto our mat. Nice strong push-up, coming up into your choice of back bend. Low, high, Sphinx, Cobra. Okay, good. And then exhaling, slowly lower down. Let's make our way back into downward facing dog. Okay, good. Okay, step your big toes together at the back of your mat. Let's lift this right leg up towards the sky. Good. And again, just really pressing that left heel down. If you want to open up the right hip, that's absolutely fine. Okay, this is all just like a nice stretch for you, however you want to stretch, square or open, it does not matter. Okay, stay for another inhale in. Exhaling, we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. Okay, I'm going to, again, grab my block because it's up to the top of the mat. I'm going to spin to the long edge of my mat, taking my block with me, toes turn in, heels out, and then gently just folding forward. Okay, and I'm not really using the block too much, but you can use it under your hands. You can use it under your head if you want your head to, feel like it's touching the ground. I'm really just bringing it with me, just in case I want to bring the floor a little bit closer to me, okay? Good. Okay, good. I'm gonna lift up about halfway. I'm gonna have my hands on the block to lift up, good. And then I'm gonna start to bend into my left knee, coming into transverse lunge on the left side, okay? So again, you can stay parallel here. Okay, you can use your block, pillow, okay, or you can start to turn your toes out and then lower the hips even lower. And again, you can use your block to assist you to keep your weight shifting forward. And I'm just going to use my block to just reach out forward in front of me to keep my weight moving forward. Good. And then we're just going to go straight to the second side. Okay, so we're going to shift our hips. Again, you can use your block, walk your hands, your knees, your legs over to the right side for transverse lunge on the right side. Again, you can stay parallel. You can turn your toes out. Good. Reach your arms forward on the ground or using your block. Good. Okay, good. And then let's do that one more time. Okay, we're going to bend over to the left. And again, you can use your hands, your block to help shift you back. Bending to the left. I'm going to release the block. I'm going to walk my hands around my left leg to spin up onto those right toes. Okay, I'm going to step back, downward facing dog, lifting the left leg up towards the sky for a nice big stretch on the second side. Again, hips can stay square. They can open up. You can bend your knee, whatever feels good here. Nice big hamstring stretch, hip opener. Good, stay for the inhale. Exhaling, left foot steps forward in between the hands. Wide leg forward fold. Getting ahead of myself here, okay, good. Toes in, heels out, folding forward, turning to that long edge of the mat again here. Yeah, you can even get creative if you want to take the block behind your back, just like interlacing your hands behind your back. You can roll your shoulders, lift the block up over your head. Good. Okay, great. Take your time, lift up halfway. Okay, and then we're just gonna side lunge again. So we're gonna start with the right side first though, okay? So we're gonna bend to the right knee, lower the hips down. Good, you can, again, practice having your hands at your heart center, block at your heart center. We're gonna go to the right. We're gonna go to the left. You can use your hands, maybe no hands. Good, moving to the left. Good, and then we're gonna move to the right one more time. Moving to the right. Good, release the block, walk your hands around that right leg, spin up onto those left toes. Yes, step back, downward facing dog. Whew. Nice big 180 on the mat here. Good, right leg lifts up towards the sky again. Ooh, this time we're gonna make some space for pigeon pose. Right knee towards your right wrist. Lowering down onto your knee and shin. Okay, take your time. Good, and you're gonna bump that left leg back. I'm gonna grab my timer. I know I have my watch, but sometimes I get talking, I kind of lose a second or two, okay? So as you're getting situated here in your pigeon, okay, you got some props you can use. You can slide a block under that right hip. I'm gonna use my block for under my forehead or chest, okay? Good, and now we're just gonna make our way down onto our forearms. And again, making our way down on maybe onto our forehead. And we are going to hold here for a while, okay, so that we can really find release. We can let go of that pretty active practice that we just did, okay, so we can use that power of that breath and that heat in our body to spread out through the right hip, spread into our breath, so we're like sending that heat and that energy throughout our entire body, right? Even out through like the strands of our hair, out through our fingertips or toe tips. All that we created, let that move through your body, right? Move through your spirit, move through your mind. And again, you do not have to feel like you have to stay in one place. You're welcome to walk up onto your hands if you need to take a break. You can shift a little bit from side to side. You can actually even take a break. If you need to come out of it for a moment, that's fine. You can shake your legs out and come back into pigeon when you're ready. Listen to your body. And sometimes we may feel stuck or feel like something's blocking us. And sometimes it's not always best to just push through it and hold it. Sometimes it's nice to like step back, take a break and come back into it. You may find a little more release in your body that way. Last 30 seconds here, okay? We're gonna walk our hands, not directly to the left, just slight left diagonal. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk my hands just over to the left. And again, you can stay on your forearms or you can extend your arms out to press into your hands, to press your hips over to the right a little bit, right? We're not falling over, but we're just creating lots of length. And you may feel a nice big stretch through that right side body. I know it was a little bit longer than 30 seconds, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna walk our hands back in underneath us. We're gonna come back to the center. Okay, slowly walk your hands underneath you. We're gonna make our way back into downward facing dog. Okay, your way, of course. You can come into a vinyasa and shake the leg out. Left leg lifts up towards the sky when you're ready. Left knee towards your left wrist for pigeon pose on the left side. Again, any adjustments you need, props, blocks, blankets, anything you need, okay? Good. And then we'll start our time here as you gently make your way down, either onto your forearms or on your block. Forehead can lower. Just be patient, let this left side catch up with the right. But we're not rushing it, right? We want to take its time. Let that left side have its own experience. Again, you know, you can ask yourself like what you're resisting, what are you holding on to, what can you let go of, where can you find release, where can you find space. Can you breathe a little deeper? Remembering you can ease out of the pose if you need to. I know we're holding for a while. All right, in the last 30 seconds, we're just going to shift our arms and our torso just a little bit to the right so that we can extend our arms out. Let our hips move a little bit to the left and then get a nice stretch through that left side body. And again, remember, we're not like falling over. We're still holding ourselves into pigeon, just giving ourselves a nice little different angle of a stretch here. Good. And then slowly bringing the forearms in, gently making your way back to the center, just nice and slow. Good. Walking your hands back in. Okay, good. And then taking your time, making your way back into the last downward facing dog. Okay. Yeah, and again, if you want a vinyasa here, and I didn't really plan too many vinyasas just because, we didn't, a lot of core strengthening, even in tabletop, doing all of that glute work, it's a lot of strength on the arms. Like we had to really focus on pressing into our arms as well. Okay. Okay, good. Let's lower down onto our knees. Good. And then we're just going to make our way into seated. Okay. 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 Again, make sure you just have your block handy. We're not going to use it right this second with this exercise that we're going to do next, but we're going to come into it for our next one afterwards. Okay. So you're going to start with your legs out, not super wide. Okay. You can even just come into like a little V shape here. Okay. And you can also use your arms behind you. I have a wall behind me too. So if you want to sit up against the wall, that's fine as well too. Okay. I have a little bit of space for my body in the wall, but we're going to take the right leg. Okay. and we're gonna bring it to the left. Okay, yeah, okay. Right arm. We're just gonna lower, extend the right arm out. My hand's like in line with my hip, okay? You can stay on your hand or you can lower down onto your forearm. Let's point the toes, okay? So we keep our legs nice and active. And then left arm just reaches up and over like a rainbow for a nice slow as side body stretch here, okay? Good. You can look up towards your elbow if you'd like. You can look down. Good, just breathe. Okay, inhale in. Exhale, slowly release, coming on up. Right leg moves back out to the right. And then we're just gonna take the left leg, lift it up, bring it over to the right. Point your toes. Good, left hand in line with your hip. Just gonna lean out a little bit. You can lower down onto your forearm. Oh gosh. And then right arm reaches up and over. Okay, I can totally tell which side is tighter than the other, okay? Good, just breathe. Okay, good, inhale in. Exhale, rise up. Good, let's do that all one more time, okay? Left leg up to the left, right leg to the left. Good, and then again, slowing down, left arm reaches up and over. Good. Noticing difference, and again, really point those toes, squeeze those inner thighs together, really lift up out through your chest. Good, inhale in, exhale, release. Right leg lifts up, and again, I'm not using my arms, but you can always lean back into your arms if you need to. Right leg out to the right, left leg to your right. Okay, you want to sit up, then reach that left arm out to the side, and then right arm up and over. Point those toes. Okay, let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Good. Exhaling, slowly release. Good. Left leg moves to the left. Awesome. And then we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. Nice wide diamond shape here. And gently just start to fold forward. Okay. Again, this does not have to be your deepest stretch. You can round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Good. Just breathe. Inhaling, slowly rise on up. Okay. And then we're just going to come into our cross-legged position with the right leg crossed in front. Okay. And this is again where we may want to use our prop. Okay. We're going to come into double pigeon, I dream of Jeannie pose. Okay. Option always to go back into pigeon if you want to. Or you can stay here with the right leg crossed in front. You can just fold forward. Okay. But we're going to, oh, I'm getting excited. Okay, first let's take the right ankle, okay, cross it up over the left knee. So the right ankle stacked on the left knee and then right knee stacked on the left ankle, okay? So we're just, again, like a little genie pose. If you have a big space, if your hips are tight, you can slide a block under your hip. You can slide the block under your knee and your ankle to feel supported, whatever height, okay? And just gonna have your fingertips down, sitting up nice and tall as best as you can, okay? Good. And again, blocks, props, totally optional. Good. And again, use them if you need to, okay? Good. And we're not gonna stay still or silent in our body here, okay? We're just gonna start to make some circles. So let's just do like 3 circles with our torso in one direction. Good. Awesome. And then we'll go 3 times in the other direction. Just letting the head follow, right? Good. And again, you're always welcome to stay still if that feels better for you, okay? Good. And then your choice, listen to your body, okay? I'm just gonna add some side stretches. I did this earlier today, just felt really good, okay? So left arm down, right arm up and over. But again, you know, be sensitive to the fact that This is a lot on the knees and the hips, so side body stretch might be too much, and that's okay. Okay, good. Inhale in, exhale, switch sides, right hand down, left arm up and over. Good, inhale in, exhale, release. Coming back up, sitting up nice and tall. And again, maybe you move forward a little bit and come back to neutral. Again, if you want to add some circles in, you can. Good. Awesome. All right, good. And then from here, sitting up nice and tall again. Just breathe. Good. And again, you know, you can always have the left leg straight too. I sometimes don't feel as deep of a stretch in the hip like I want to, so you can always bend the bottom leg too for seated figure 4, okay? I just want you all to be mindful of your knees, okay? Okay, let's gently release out of this. I like to lean over to the left to like unwind my legs a little bit, okay? I'm gonna just give them a nice little shake out in front of you. Okay, let's go to the other side, okay? So seated with the left leg crossed in front. And again, the option is just even to fold forward here. That's a really nice hip stretch, you know, if this I Dream of Genie pose is not accessible, okay? That's okay. All right, so left ankle is going to move on top of the right knee, and then everything's just stacked, right? So you don't want to keep that right foot hugged in too much. You want to open it up a little bit. So again, like you're really creating like these arms with your legs, right? Yeah, everything's stacked on top of each other. And again, use those props, okay? And this side might need something different, and that's okay. Okay, sitting up nice and tall, lift it up onto your fingertips, shoulders are dropping down. Good, and then we're just gonna create little circles here. So just moving, these can be big, they can be small, okay? Just 3 times in one direction. And then 3 times in the other direction, again, just letting your head follow. Good. Just like a top, right? Good. Awesome. And then again, if you want to include the side stretch, awesome. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Good. Inhale in. Exhale, release. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Good. Inhale in. Exhale, release. Good. And then again, you can move a little forward. Come back to neutral. You can fold forward, hang out there the whole time, circles. And again, if you need a break, right, you can always straighten that right leg. Seated figure 4, okay. So many options, even pigeon, right? You could have just done pigeon the whole time too. Nothing's wrong with doing pigeon multiple times a day. Okay, great, everyone. Okay, we're just gonna come on out of it. However you'd like to unwind, slither out of this pose, shake a leg, wag your feet, give a nice little wave with your feet. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna make our way onto our backs. And hugging the knees into the chest again, giving yourself a nice big hug. And let's actually in the way we could have started, okay? With this one particular exercise I want to do, okay? So feet are going to come down. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee, okay? So we just did this external rotation in the hips, okay? We're going to think about that diagonal, right knee towards the left shoulder. And then again, go ahead and just bring your hands just on top of your shin or your knee. You can lift up onto your toes here. Good, and just breathe, okay? Does this feel different? Does it feel the same? Do you have more awareness around the hip socket? That this maybe feels different? Good, gently release, and we'll switch sides. Okay, left ankle over the right knee, and again, there's that external rotation, right? Like we're pressing the left knee away, but we're gonna fold in, bringing the knee towards the right shoulder. And again, it's pretty small, and then hands on the knee or shin. Good. Lifting up on the right toes if you wish. Okay, awesome. And then gently release. Good. And then let's go ahead and just straighten the legs out, giving them a nice little shake out. Legs can be as wide as your mat. You can also come back into Supta Bhattachanasana. Soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Okay. And again, hands can be touching your body or arms can be down by your sides, palms up. And just breathe. Breathe in the benefits of your practice and breathing in that space. Breathing in that fullness. Feeling fortified. Slowly start to shift your head gently from side to side. Make fists with your hands, flex your feet, and then release your hands, release your feet. Good. Make fists with your hands, flex your toes, release your hands, release your toes. And then start to make circles with your wrists and ankles. Switching directions. When you're ready, stretching your arms up over your head, let your back arch up off the mat. And then bringing your knees into your chest and making your way onto your side, your right or your left. And coming on up to a seated position. And again, the last thing we'll do with the block, we're just gonna sit on it, okay? So sitting on your block or pillow, just to lift the hips up again, with your legs crossed here. Good. Let your knees gently point down as best as you can. Hands rest on your knees, roll the shoulders back, sitting up nice and tall. And you can even join your thumb and your pointer finger to touch here in this mudra of wisdom and knowledge. And just take notice how you feel. Pressing your palms together at your heart center. Take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. And slowly just begin to smile in honor of your practice. Namaste, everyone.